The true cost of cheap, unhealthy food is a spiraling public health crisis and environmental destruction, according to a high-level commission. It said the UK's food and farming system must be radically transformed and become sustainable within 10 years.
Here's a summary of the article.
The true cost of cheap, unhealthy food is a spiraling public health crisis and environmental destruction, according to a high-level commission. Our own health and the health of the land are inextricably intertwined, but in the last 70 years, this relationship has been broken, said the report, which was produced by leaders from farming, supermarket and food supply businesses, as well as health and environment groups, and involved conversations with thousands of rural inhabitants. The Commission said most farmers thought they could make big changes in 5 to 10 years if they got the right backing. Farmers are extraordinarily adaptable, said Sue Pritchard, director of the RSA Commission and an organic farmer in Wales. To solve these crises, the Commission said agroecology practices must be supported, such as organic farming and agroforestry, where trees are combined with crops and livestock such as pigs or egg-laying hens. Brexit creates a once-in-50 years opportunity to change our food and farming system, but we need to act now. The climate emergency makes urgent, radical action on the environment essential, said Sir Ian Cheshire, chair of the RSA Commission and also a senior government advisor. Gove said, "This report raises issues that are hugely important. We know that it is in the interests of farmers and landowners to move to a more sustainable model." He added that the government's agriculture bill would reward farmers with public money for public goods and a new farm-to-fork food review would look to ensure everyone had access to healthy British food.
This post received a score of 7,886, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Governments need to stop subsidizing the food industry and start taxing sugar and other low-grade ingredients.
Good luck. The food industry has too much money invested in our politicians to let that happen. It's depressing how obvious the bribery, corruption is and how little there is done about it.
It also is sad to see how little money is involved in bribing, or donating, as they like to call it, to get them to make decisions that will make life for millions of people worse. It's also sad to see when the solution is citizens setting up lobbying organizations for their own government. At that point, right now, we surely need to acknowledge something needs to change.
The EU has many farming programs and quite a lot of them are backing ecological and organic farming. The EU has also set many standards to farming and sustainable resource use. The US is already pressuring the UK to accept its lower standards. I'm no expert in farming, but I don't think that's a huge sector.
Brexit creates an opportunity to make things worse. Note Britain being against the neonicotinoid ban, Widdicombe's fishermen being forced to save small fish comment, etc. The British government aspires to American levels of subservience to industry. Talk is cheap. Remember when the Conservatives were voted in as the greenest party ever? Nothing has come of that little lie in the deluge of more prominent lies from their party.
Is it cheaper food or is it easier food? I find that a lot of people eat unhealthy because they feel they are too busy to plan and shop and cook. It's just a lot easier to make packaged food or microwave something than making a healthy meal, they think. And sugary foods have taken the place of eating fresh fruit, it seems.
Cheaper. A box of macaroni and cheese is cheaper than fresh vegetables for sure, and usually even canned vegetables. This is in the US, not sure how it is in the UK.
The real comparison is a pack of ramen for 25 cents, just add water.
I was on food stamps for a bit and I learned the basics of cooking out of necessity. Now it's a hobby I love and I can absolutely make food from scratch that's as cheap or cheaper than ramen, by shopping and cooking in bulk. Cooking is cheaper and healthier than eating heavily processed foods, but it does take some time, money and effort to get started and to learn the basics. I wish public cooking classes were given for free and cooking was more encouraged. I think people need to see that it's not hard or scary to make some basic stuff and it's cheaper and better for you.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.